Live from the capital, Gaborone, this is BTV News at 9 o'clock. I am Pomozo Mapani. The headlines. Government committed to improving conditions of service for the Botswana police. Electricity cable theft incident in Maun leaves part of the village and surrounding areas in the dark.
And the DMSS Gator Swimming Club are champions of Botswana Swimming Sport Association National Championships 2024.
Interpreting in sign language is Topotaposa. Good evening. With 55 days into his first 100 days in office, President Advocate Duma Boko is set on a mission to deliver on his promise made over a month ago, which entails laying a solid foundation for long-standing transformation. A major part of this transformation includes a series of visits to various organs and institutions, such as the Botswana Defence Force. During his familiarization tour at the Seseresakama Barracks this afternoon, the President and his entourage met with the Commander of Botswana Defence Force, Lieutenant General Placid Sohoko, and his officers to appreciate the exceptional work the force does in its key responsibilities of defending and safeguarding peace and security of the nation. On the sidelines of this tour and visit, the BDF commander cited the engagement as fruitful, for it openly laid out the BDF's challenges and milestones with assurances of government's commitment to attending to them, as well as charting shared path of transformation for the country in the new administration.
Se solicitaitse mo molaong maikarabelo a rona ke gore se tsamaise ka molao reng se tsamaiswe ka teng ebile re tlhomamise gore ra se dibela gore se se ka sa tsena ke mo holela a strong institution of governance or institution of state that delivers on being a key component in delivering good governance for the Republic of Botswana. So re mo le kudisa ka dio tseo tse di amanang le tseo re mo le kudisitse gape ka tse di re tlhokisang boroko o re kgothaditse thata gore ena ile tautona le gore mentso a gagwe sa ntlha ke gore ba santse ba na le tiriso e tona ya sesole go apele mme ebile anong a ba santse ba na le tiriso e tona ya sesole ke gore sesole le sone se tshwana gore se tlamelo setlamelo se nne le didirisiwa le tsotlhe tse di se tlhokang tse di ka kgonagalang gore sesole se dire tiro ya sone ka bonolo bo bo se ka kgona gore se ka dira ka teng.
The little equipment that we have re leka go re dirise to the maximum in the most effective way. We ne re nna le dikgwetlho le gone ko Mozambique gone ka kwa mme ne re kgona gore re operation a rona e tsamaye sentle fela ga ile gore equipment e na le breakdown re le ka kwa ne re na le gone gore ra go e tsosa yang gore masola ka kwa a seka ga ba nna mo seemong sa gore ba lebega ka nte ba latlheletswe so re tsa gore go mo go ira gore le bone ba boostere morale tota.
President Advocate Duma Boko this morning committed government to move the speed so as to address the very challenges faced by Botswana police officers. President Boko made the commitment during the tour of police facilities in Gaborone, where he also described the status of the welfare of officers as a crisis, despite their deserved top-class ranking in Africa. Kifilo Mokhaotsane reports.
The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Advocate Duma Boko, took his consultation to the Armed Forces today. As part of rationalization of government operations, in November, the armed forces were relocated from the Ministry of Defense to report directly under him at the Office of the President. He was apprised on the state of the Botswana Police in its endeavor to ensure the safety and security of the people of Botswana, as well as the human resource to deliver on that mandate.
This is a big organization with a big mandate, and it is an organization that has to prioritize its people in order to effectively deliver. police officers have to come first. Their welfare has to come first. So that when they approach Botswana, they approach them with love, with caution, with humility. But if they are wounded themselves because of the conditions of service, then they will bleed on the people.
The president is familiar with the Botswana police from his previous work, and he believes their ranking as a top-class police service is well-deserved. He is committed to transforming the police by attending to the officer's long-standing challenges.
We have a crisis in our hands. Badirediba, badiriba, mapodisia. Atsela mo diemong tse di sannang sentle. Gotlhelele. Tse di tlhokang gore di tsibogelwe ka mashetla, ebile di tsibogelwe ka bonako. Mme go tla tshwanna go nne le tsibogo e ntseng jalo mo nakong e khutshwane. Go batwe ditsela ha ngwe le tse di sa tlwaelesegang, ha ngwe le tse ne di itsiwe mme go sena kakanyo le kelelo ya gore di ka dirwa gore go rarabolwe mathata a rarabolwe ka bonako mme ebile a rarabologe.
In alignment to the president's ideals of inclusivity and openness, President Boko has opened up a discussion about unionizing the armed forces.
Sometimes when you canalize, when you create a proper channel to communicate challenges, even grievances, you give people an opportunity, an outlet. You enable them then to channel their grievances properly. And when they channel them, you listen to them. So it is not a bad idea for unionization, even of the police service. It is not. I can tell you. But that's for you to decide. And when it is decided, we will agree how it must work.
President Boko has been in office for the past 6 weeks, and as he moves around the country across all sectors, he's gathering data to prepare for his grand report to the nation when he commemorates his 100th day in office on February the 8th, 2025. Kifilo Mokatsani, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Vice President, Ms. Thanda Bahaolatli, who chaired for the first time the Rural Development Council, has urged the team to align its mandate to the vision and aspiration of government, which is to revitalize rural areas. When addressing the 166th RDC meeting this morning in Gaborone, Ms. Bahaolatli said rural areas are faced with poverty and inequality, among other challenges that need to be responded to. Monica Sitwala with more.
One of the duties under his portfolio as the Vice President is to chair the Rural Development Council, which coordinates developments in rural areas. Appreciating the work done by the Council so far, through the introduction of developmental projects and drought relief measures, among others, Mr. Gaolathe emphasized the need for the Council to perform tasks effectively.
In his recent State of the Nation address, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, emphasized the need to revitalize rural areas. This calls for a dynamic and agile civil service in delivering services to Botswana. And as you are aware, the key challenges in rural areas are poverty, inequality, and unemployment. These issues must be addressed if we are to achieve a balanced national development posture. Therefore, let us heed to this blueprint and improve performance across all government services.
He further advised the team to give attention to certain government institutions which will truly constitute to the success of the Council.
As a coordinating council, if we do not, in our coordination role, prod, catalyze, push, pressurize for the restructuring, for instance, of the Botswana Meat Commission, then we would not have achieved part of our mandate. So part of our mandate, once we are on the same wavelength on our objectives, is also to look at the institutions, primary institutions that are directly, not even indirectly, correlated to the success, our success towards, and we need to be systematic about this.
The Rural Development Council is at the core of ensuring that rural areas are not left behind in terms of developments and the empowerment of rural residents. Monica Satsoila, BTV News, Gaborone.
Electricity cable theft incidents in Maun are said to be affecting the distribution of electricity to residents and the business community. This was said by the Minister of Minerals and Energy, Ms. Kenwendo, after touring sites vandalized in an incident of theft that occurred last Tuesday. The vandalism resulted in unplanned and prolonged power interruptions affecting Maun and surrounding areas. Mpo Aaron reports.
Darkness reigned in Maun on Tuesday just towards midnight when electricity cable suspected thieves attempted to steal a cable which distributes electricity to half of Maun population and the entire business center. Touring the affected sites, Minister Kenwendo said that the incident made a huge impact on Maun 11 kilovolts satellite substation and its ability to distribute electricity to surrounding areas. What is of concern is that these interconnectors are carrying a live load of electricity. But if you get reports of someone trying to cut a live load of electrical cable, it's very disturbing. Power cables can be dangerous and can cause electric shocks, fires, and death.
BPC e botlhokwa ga re baballe mme gape re tshwanetse gore re tshabe ka gore ya bola re itemogela tshenyo e leng gore yanong due to that fault e diragetseng e dirwa ke magodu ha e introduce another multiple of joints.
Due to the fault that happened during the theft incidents, it then resulted in another multiple of joints faults in this main cable. We then had to locate the fault in the entire 16-kilometer line, and it was not easy as it was underground and not overlying. The minister has called on community members to help curb such incidents by reporting any suspicious activities to relevant authorities, adding such incidents are increasing due to existing markets for stolen power cables. We should stand against this kind of corruption and report any suspicious activities and even talk to those involved to stop such. This affects our households, and next people will be saying BPC is failing them, whereas power outages are the results of vandalism and cable theft. An individual suspected to be involved in this incident is said to have come for help at Letsola Thebe 2 Memorial Hospital, severely injured, and the police are still conducting their investigations. Meanwhile, BPC says it managed to fully restore power on Saturday. Mpo Aaron, BTV News, Maun.
Botswana living with HIV have been encouraged to accept their HIV status and support those who have been affected in order to help government achieve its goal of fighting HIV and AIDS. This was said by the Minister of Transport and Infrastructure, Mr. Noah Salagai, at the District HIV and AIDS Commemoration Day in Chobokwani in the Hansi District.
Botswana registered its first HIV virus case in 1985. Since that year, the country recorded many more cases of people infected with HIV, prompting government to seek financial assistance from developed countries to acquire antiretroviral treatment. Currently, the government of Botswana, through the Ministry of Health, has significantly scaled down the number of HIV/AIDS-related deaths.
So, HIV/AIDS ke sebaka sa gore goromente a itlame go tswelela a lwantsha bolwetse jo.
This day is meant for the government to continue committing to fighting this disease as we are working towards eliminating HIV/AIDS disease by the year 2030. And for the government to achieve this, it is upon each and every individual to play their part.
Ka bo wena go bona gore o tsaya jang karolo gore ka ngwaga wa 2030 o bo sena bolwetse jo kana bana ba re ba tsholang ba tsholwa ba sena bolwetse jo ke maikarabelo a rona rotlhe.
Mme dipalo tse ke tla beng ke di kgaogana le lona mo gompienong ke tsa go simologa ka kgwedi ya July go hella ka kgwedi ya September 2024.
The statistics that I'll be sharing with you is from July to September 2024. We managed to test 2,618 people, and out of that number, 27 people tested positive. This is a concern to us, as it is evident that we are still having new HIV infections. Khosiwili Morris of Chobokwane also highlighted that they are also concerned about the people who are elected to screen for HIV in their community.
Kana ba ba ile gore re belaela gore bana le mogare mme ba sa ye dipateleng rona mo Chobokwane what I've realized ha monna a lwala o ta ba re tute.
We are still facing challenges, more especially with men. When they are sick, they just say, I have a pain in my liver without going to the doctor. Can we please work together as the community and go to the clinics so that we make it easier for the government to be able to help us?
Ari tuse bonnese ba re thuse se re se kopang hela ke gore bolwetse ha o na le jone o bo go lemoga go sa le nako o ka thusiwa botoka le ha o le mo lo ha o robetse re santse re batlisisa gore o bolawa ke
Botswana are encouraged to go for routine HIV test for early detection. Lesego Mokwaisi, BTV News, Chobokwane.
In Kasane, the newly elected chairperson of Chobe District Council, Mr. Johani Chenjekwa, says the council has resolved to drive change in the district, although it faces economic constraints. The chairperson said this following the swearing-in of new councillors. Tuto Halidziwe and Tsolofelo Tombale with the report.
At a time when the public purse is strained by, among other factors, a downturn in diamond sales, councillors across the country are taking office. 10 Chobe councillors took their oath of office administered by the district commissioner in Kasane recently, at which time their new chairman acknowledged and committed to take up the responsibility to push developments, but cautioned that the challenge of funds would be a burden.
We might have to row canoes through the rapids. The resources at our disposal are very limited, but still we will row until such a time when we will be in an economic position to substitute our small canoes with bigger and much capacitated vessels to deliver the people-centered and inclusive development. I promise that we are going to work fast and very strategic for us to reach that goal.
We took an oath of allegiance, whether UDC or BCP, we must continue working together. Batsadi ba rona ko metseng ba bone ditamelo tse di tswang mo council ya ka o itse gore kana council ke yone local government ke rona ba re tsamaisa Chobe.
The councillors also elected one of the 2 specially elected councillors living with a disability to be their deputy chairman. The 11th councillor for Chobe district will be sworn in after the by-elections on the 28th December following the unexpected death of Chobe Enclave Central Councillor Moketsi Jani. Tsolofelo Tombale, BTV News.
Thank you for staying with BTV News at 9. Meanwhile, in Francistown, councillors have elected Mr. Gaone Majere of Tshwaragano Ward as the new mayor. Mr. Majere of the Umbrella for Democratic Change UDC secured 17 votes against the former deputy mayor Mr. Lesego Kwambala of the BDP, who got 12 votes. The Francistown Council will be under the control of the UDC as the Philip Matante East Councillor Mr. Uya Ponyeniku defeated the Central Ward Councillor Ms. Lillian Grismer of the Botswana Democratic Party to the deputy mayoral seat. Out of the 29 Francistown councillors who voted, Mr. Nyeku was elected by 23 councillors while Ms. Grismer managed 6 votes. The exercise to swear in and elect the leadership of the council for the next 5 years has paved way for councillors to kickstart their mandate following the October national election. In other news, the Botswana Savings Bank BSB Chief Executive Officer Mr. Nixon Marumulwa says he is appreciative of BB's 1.520% increase in profit after tax for the 6 months ending 30th September 2024. In an interview with BTV News, Mr. Marumulwa articulated that the remarkable growth was primarily driven by growth in assets as well as the BSB insurance services. He further stated that BSB is looking forward to being privatized.
We're quite happy. It's a remarkable growth, but it's not coming in as something we didn't expect because we need to actually be further than where we are at this moment in time. Been working on this for quite a while, for the last 6 years. Every couple of years, we try to increase our bottom line. 2 years back, we had 6 million, which is a bit embarrassing. Then we moved on to 23 odd million in terms of bottom line, and then 6 months after beginning of the financial year, we're at 60 million, and everything held constant, we'll probably get to 100 million. We actually need to take our rightful place in the community of banks in Botswana. We have about 10 banks in Botswana, you might know that. Out of these 10, we have about 2 what you call statutory banks. And historically, the statutory banks are not taking their rightful place in the community of banks. We've been trying to get there, and we will get there. At least in the last 3 years, the trajectory is going where it needs to be. And of course, once in the next couple of years, we'll privatize. So obviously, this is just getting where we really need to go. What we want to do is that the moment government gives us the green light to privatize, then government as a shareholder should be able to get real returns on their value at the Botswana Savings Bank. We need to look into Botswana. We need to look into outside this country. We have the capability. Yes, we have mining, we have tourism and all, but why can't we have a mega financial services company that comes straight from Botswana? We are willing to be that.
In the Middle East, Israel continues its bombardment, with Syria being the latest target. Israel says it is merely putting out any threats from Syria since rebel groups had taken control of the country. Abu Mohammed al-Jolani, the rebel leader that overthrew the Bashar al-Assad regime, says Israel is using false pretexts to justify attacks on Syria, which is not interested in engaging in new conflicts as it focuses on rebuilding itself.
Over the past week, Israel has launched hundreds of airstrikes on weapon stores and seized tanks and other weaponry in Syria so that rebel militants do not use them against it. As Syria prepares for a transition of power period, the United States of America said it hopes democracy will prevail over the land.
As Syria transitions from the Assad dictatorship to hopefully a democracy, it does so in a way that, of course, protects all of the minorities in Syria, that produces an inclusive, non-sectarian government, and does not become in any way a platform for terrorism.
Meanwhile, neighboring Jordan also supports the transition of power in Syria.
We all stand with Syria in this reconstruction phase to build a state that preserves the rights of all Syrians without exception, a state that respects its sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity so that Syrians can live in the security, peace, and stability they all deserve.
Israel has also moved into a zone in Syria that was created after the 1973 Arab-Israeli war, right after Syrian military fled the zone. Israel said it does not intend to stay there for long. It is only stationed there to ensure border security. Laonela Gwale, BTV News.
Liza Osekeng is standing by to give us the news in sport.
Thank you so much, Khomotso. Good evening. I am Liza Osekeng with your World of Sport. And in our first story, Tshepiso Rabatini of Nghabe Table Tennis Club is the champion of the Botswana Open Table Tennis Tournament after defeating Jaime Kibudiwang of BDF Table Tennis Club by 3-1 in a mouth-watering finals match played yesterday at Babusi Hall in Gaborone. And our reporter, Rifilo Lekorwe, was there.
Tshepiso Rabatini started the game on a high note, winning the first 2 sets consecutively, before Jaime Kibudiwang made a surprise comeback in the third set to make it 2-1 going into the fourth. Despite Kibudiwang's spirited efforts to make a comeback, Rabatini won the fourth set to scoop gold and be crowned Botswana Open champion in the women's category.
The tough tournament, most of it, we had foreigners. The other thing is, champion protect you. Today, they had this random draw of which I'll play her in the finals. In the quarterfinals. It was just too difficult from the onset.
Still at the Botswana Open, South Africa's Luke Abrahams thrashed Boago Malobela of Smash Maniacs by 3-0 to scoop gold on the men's category.
Obviously started yesterday and the matches were okay. There was no real challenge in the early stages. It was just for me to get my mentality right and my feeling for the ball and the conditions here. It was really hot, so it was good to prepare. I came 1 day before the tournament, had a training session here the night before, so I was able to sort of acclimatize. So really happy about that.
In the under 15 boys category, Rene Lekoro of Smash Maniacs walloped Tinashi Rufaonevzaka of Bontlenyi 2-3 to take the championship. South Africa's under 13 ladies player Rifilo Pofolo defeated Buitlamongele by 3-0 to conquer the under 13 category. The Botswana Open tournament was the last event in the Botswana Table Tennis Association calendar. Rifilo Lekore, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Now, the local organizing committee chairperson of the just-ended Zone 6 Volleyball Club Championships, Brigadier Tshepo Mbetsane, says the Botswana Volleyball Federation hosted a successful event. Brigadier Mbetsane emphasized this as the 8-day tournament marked a historic milestone for the Federation as they hosted a tournament with the highest number of participating clubs in the competition's history. With 50 clubs competing this year, Botswana surpassed the last year's record of 46 clubs set by Lesotho, solidifying its place as a regional leader in volleyball event organization.
Everything went well. We simulate our games on schedule. Because it was according to plan. You know, when everything goes according to plan, our team, more especially the local organizing committee, worked hard, you know, tirelessly to try and get the games organized and properly. We had an uphill battle, like one said before, Nerale challenge is our financing. Even though we have not overcome, but we have tried to do the best with what we got. But it's super hollow, they came in handy. But to see the original price that they gave us for the hall, they had to make huge cuts to be able to assist us. I think Lebo Nerbata as sponsors and their partners in this thing because they made it possible also.
In other news, the DMSS Gators Swimming Club are champions of the Botswana Swimming Sport Association National Championships after amassing a total of 3,203.5 points. The 5-day championships, which started on Wednesday and ended on Sunday, attracted 8 local swimming clubs and a guest swimming club from Zimbabwe. Tseofatso Malepa has the report for us.
After 5 days of putting outstanding and thrilling performances, Daryl Morton's Swimming School Gators were announced overall winners after dominating various categories of the championship, including 6 out of 8 relay events. Amongst the relays they won, there were the boys 7 to 10 years 200 meters freestyle relay in a time of 2 minutes 28 seconds.
We asked coach to put the second fastest first and the fastest at the end, and so that we can catch up in between.
Propeller Swimming Club, on the other hand, had won 200 freestyle mixed relays for boys and girls aged 11 to 14 categories in a time of 1 minute 58 seconds. The MSS Gators Swimming Club and Gaborone Aquatics Club secured second and third places respectively.
We as a club, we train a lot, and we also want to make sure that we PB for every race that we do. And we just make sure that every race is a good race, and we don't doubt ourselves, because if we doubt ourselves, that means in next races we're not going to swim as well that we're supposed to swim.
I'd like to congratulate all of the other clubs. They did a sterling job. The increased competition is helping us get better. But I think key things is the investment we're putting into our program. And also investment into not only our swimmers but also our coaches. We have young citizen coaches that are doing a fantastic job, so investing in them, training them, empowering them are some of the key things that are making the difference.
In other categories, PDF Dolphins Swimming Club cleans the Team Spirit Cup trophy for the first time, which is awarded to the team which displayed the most spirit as well as the best sportsmanship. Dolphins also went on to win Women's Masters event category. The 5-day championship title went to DMSS, bagging 3,203.5 points. In second place was Propeller Swimming Club with 1,946 points. Gaborone Aquatic Center got third place with 840 points. On fourth place was Phoenix with 767.50 points. BDF Dolphins Swimming Club settled for 5th point with 357 points. At 6th place was Stingrays with 248 points. Kubu followed with 202 points, and the last on the list was the host UB Swimming Club with 55 points. This championship will go on to be hosted again next year. Tseofatso Malepa, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
And finally, in football news, former Premier League giants and Notwane Football Club have defeated Prisons 11 by 3-1 in a National First Division South League game played this Saturday at SSG grounds. The victory moves Notwane to second position on the log standings, following 3 wins from 7 games played so far. Katleho Khakule reports.
Toronto Notwane, who are currently second on the log standings, started the game on a low note, which gave Prisons an upper hand. The Waders capitalized on Notwane's lapse to score the opening goal, which was the only goal of the first half. In the second stanza, Notwane looked a better side, piling pressure on Prisons' defense, forcing them to commit 2 offenses inside their defensive third, which resulted in 2 penalties, both of which were scored by Thabang Ufihlile on the 54th and 64th minute respectively. Kamogelo Kashiwa also headed home on the 85th minute to give Makete a 3-1 victory over Prisons 11.
It was a very tough game. We actually digged deep to score those 3 goals. You know, one team is leading. At the same time, when we are fighting for that goal, it was very, very difficult for us. But at the end of the day, my boys showed character. They fought all the way, and they actually fought all the way to give us the 3 points.
I think we played very well, and it's just that in the second half we lapsed. We were supposed to manage the game very well despite all these factors. So I think we were supposed to manage it very well, but some of these things we can't control them. But we played well. Congratulations to Notwane.
In other Southern League games, Jwaneng Young Stars defeated St. Diamonds 3-0. Tlokwen United edged out Holy Ghost 2-0, while Desert Ngau beat UB Hawks 1-0. Taunyan Strikers won 1-0 against Makosi FC, while Lok leaders Police 11 walloped City Polar 3-1. In the First Division North League, BR Highlanders and Motlakase shared spoils with a 1-1 draw. Calendar Stars beat Peacemakers 1-0. Makungulu Peswa defeated Mbalakalungu 2-0, while Sabotle FC edged out 11 Angels by a goal to 0. Santa Green beat Real Brothers 1-0, and finally Tsikinyaka Tigers registered their first league win with a 2-1 victory over Sankoyo Bushbucks. Katlaho Kakule, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Well, and that is it for sport this evening. Khomoso Mapani is standing by to give us a reminder of our top stories.
Government committed to improving conditions of service for the Botswana police. Electricity cable theft incident in Maun leaves part of the village and surrounding areas in the dark.
And the DMSS Gator Swimming Club are champions of Botswana Swimming Sport Association National Championships 2024.
Liza Oseking bringing us to the end of our news bulletin this evening. Topo Taposa was in sign language. Up next is the weather update. BTV News, Iganyarona.
Good evening, welcome to tonight's weather forecast. I am Obakeng Kasper Matak. Very hot to extremely hot temperatures are still being experienced over most parts of our country. Today we recorded 40 degrees Celsius in Letlhakane, 39 degrees Celsius in Tsabong. Elsewhere we recorded temperatures ranging between 36 up to 38 degrees Celsius. Now looking at rainfall amounts recorded this morning at 8 a.m. 48 millimeters at Hamataris Farm in Kope, 28 millimeters at Evergreen Investment Farm in Tlokwe, 20 in State House, as well as in Gaborone Village Meteorological Services Headquarters, 10 millimeters in Mokodisano Kotla, 6 millimeters at Bray Border Post, 4 millimeters at Good Hope Meteorological Station, as well as in Mankodi Kotla. 3 millimeters in Maun International Airport and Ngojane Meteorological Station, 1 millimeter at Dryhoek Primary School, Kasane International Airport, as well as in Khomukasitwa Primary School. Over Makopom Border Post and Swanning Hill Secondary School, we recorded some drops. Now looking at the current satellite picture, the X-Chido is still visible over Mozambique and it's moving into Zimbabwe, where we're expecting it to lose its strength and die a natural death in Zimbabwe. Now zooming into our country, Botswana, clouds are still visible over most parts of our country, and these bright white clouds are showing developing thunderstorms, which we are expecting them to thunder or shower tonight over some places, especially over the northeastern parts of our country. On Tuesday, we're expecting partly cloudy conditions over most parts of our country with possibility of isolated thunder showers. In the morning, hot temperatures are expected over the bulk of the country, ranging from 20 degrees Celsius in Tsabong up to 24 degrees Celsius in Silibepikwe, as well as in Kade. In the afternoon, over Kalaga district, we're expecting extremely hot temperatures ranging from 39 degrees Celsius in Veda up to 40 degrees Celsius in Tsan. Elsewhere, we're expecting very hot temperatures ranging from 36 degrees Celsius in Joneng up to 38 degrees Celsius in Maun, as well as in Silibepikwe. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precautions. Now for the extended forecast, over southern southeast Gauteng and Kweni, we're expecting cloudy conditions with possibility of scattered thunder showers and very hot temperatures on Wednesday, while on Thursday we're expecting warm temperatures. Over Ranzen Kalagade, we're expecting partly cloudy conditions with possibility of isolated thunder showers with very hot afternoon temperatures on Wednesday, while on Thursday we're expecting hot afternoon temperatures. Over Chobe and Gamiland, we're expecting cloudy conditions with possibility of scattered thunder showers with warm afternoon temperatures. Looking into central and northeast, we're expecting cloudy conditions with possibility of scattered thunder showers with hot afternoon temperatures on Wednesday, while on Thursday we're expecting warm afternoon temperatures. That's all I had for you. Have yourself a good night.